So here's something that can help get rid of the world's dwindling supply of 20 caliber pellets. This is a Benjamin-Sheridan E9A. Have to find some more information on that one. But it is a CO2 powered air pistol that is right now not holding CO2. But this should be a quick and easy fix, which of course is our famous last words. So yes, we have here on the bench a Benjamin E9A, one of the last of the Benjamin-Sheridan branded pistols, under Crosman ownership, I believe, by that point. This is a 1990s gun. I'll have to do a little bit of research and see what I can find out a little more about it. It doesn't appear in my Blue Book of Air Guns for some interesting reason, but I'll borrow my friend's definitive book on Sheridans. I'm sure we'll find out more about that. This is one of those guns that you put the CO2 cylinder in it, goes up against the seal, you tighten it on down till it's nice and snug, but the gas does not come out yet. You have to cock it and fire it. The hammer has the valve on the front of it actually has a sharp point to pierce the CO2 cartridge. And somebody didn't realize that and used a bit of a wrench to tighten this down, which is a bit of a shame. Mashed it down and damaged the seal. Whether the seal was damaged before or after, I don't know. Only got some bits and pieces of it to come out of the gun. This is what remains of the seal, this little tiny little piece right here. Not much to see. My hope is to try to replicate that out of something more sturdy. I took a piece of this high-density polyurethane and cut a slice out of it. I had the gun apart and took a look at it. Everything else in the gun appears to be intact and should hold pressure without any trouble. So if I can cut a new seal out of something like this, it means it saves having to order in a whole rebuild kit. The kits are available though, so as a last resort we'll do that. But for the time being, I'll pull this all apart, get the valve out of it, and see if I can make a new front seal for the cartridge. Okay, so step one is going to be to completely disassemble this gun so I can get the valve out of it. This is where that seal should sit, right here. It should be a nice flat surface with a small hole in the middle of it for the CO2 cylinder to pressurize itself right up against that. And as I said, that's all that's left of it. So I have to make something. And my dimensions say, measured this, 9.6 millimeters on diameter, so a little bit less than 10 millimeters. And 2 millimeter thickness of seal material and 3.15 millimeter hole in the middle of it. So 3 millimeters is probably going to have to do if I've got a punch for that, because I'm going to punch this. But I have to get this, I think I have to get this apart. All the seal surfaces in here look pretty good. I tried blowing a bit of air through it and it seals up quite nicely, so don't think we need to buy a whole new kit for it yet. But yeah, these look okay. So something to fit that. This piece I cut for it as a test isn't quite big enough, so I'm going to have to slice a little bigger piece off my item, getting a razor blade out and do that. That'll be fun. Well, my plan is to punch straight through this stuff with one of my fairly inexpensive but straightforward punches here. This is a 10mm punch. Measure the inside of it, it's pretty much 9mm. So hopefully it matches up with what we need to do right here. However, as sharp as I try to make this, sharpen it a little bit using my tools, I have to punch right through this, and this stuff is, while it is bendy, it is surprisingly tough. So I'm going to back it up using a lead plate, put it on there, and pound away and put it on the floor and give it a good whack. See if I can get through it. Wish me luck. Okay, the idea of using the lead plate was excellent. It just went straight through without any trouble, and now I've got myself a little round slug, which hopefully is going to fit right in there, which it will. Now I do need to make a small hole in the middle to allow that through, so I'm going to pick a smaller punch and see what I can do. Well, we have something here that looks like it should work. The hole is slightly off center, of course it is, but thickness should be just about right, and we'll put it all together and see if it will hold gas. If not, well, if it looks like it should work, maybe there's some more. I'll just keep making more of them until something does work, or give up and then just go order a whole rebuild kit. But fingers crossed, let's give it a try. Well, the various bits are all back in there. Didn't want to bore you with all the reassembly. It just goes back without any much fuss, actually. It's quite good. No parts went flying. So I'm just going to put a cylinder in here and we'll cross our fingers and see if it will actually hold gas. I don't have the rear sight put back on yet, but nice and snug, don't want to crush anything. So cock it. And will it pierce the cylinder? Let's find out if that worked. No, it didn't. Okay, not yet. Screw it in a bit tighter. Not yet. I'm able to screw it in a little bit tighter each time. Not yet. Nope, it's not doing it yet, so I'm gonna have to make one out of a slightly thinner material. Well, no, it's not doing it yet. Might have to make a seal out of slightly thinner material. It seems that the piercing pin is not coming through quite far enough. No. Okay. Well, it's pretty straightforward here. The seal I made is just that little bit too thick, and as I tighten this down, it is essentially bunching up and making it impossible for the sharp, pointy end of the piercing assembly to reach the cylinder. So have to make one a good bit thinner than that. Shouldn't be too hard. Just have to shave down my material. I think the material is going to be okay. Just a matter of getting the right thickness, and we'll give it another shot. Well, made another one. This one's definitely thinner. Let's hope it's thin enough. We'll pop it in and see if it works. So, replacement seal is in. Will it work this time? Of course it will. I have no doubt. Looks just nice. Pin's going to protrude, pop a hole in this cylinder without any trouble. My friend will have a working gun again. Well, I say again, it didn't work from the first time, so. Okay, snap the cartridge down. Probably as far as it needs to go. Okay, did it pierce? Ooh. Something happened. There we go. Okay. Let's test it, and I'll put the rest of the pieces back on, then we'll test it and shoot it, see what happens. Okay, so with a fresh cylinder in it and still holding pressure, we're going to try this Benjamin-Sheridan out E9A with some field target trophy pellets from H&N, the only ones I have available to me. So I'm going to try 10 shots, see how consistent it is or isn't with the seal in there. Everything else seems to be okay, so freshly lubricating everything. So let's give it a shot. These pellets are a little bit of a tight fit because they're not quite the original shape designed for the gun, but let's give it a shot here. See if we can get it across both screens here. Nope, missed. Alright. Let's take another one out of there. Oh, didn't switch the lights on. That would help. Okay, let's see if we can get it across the screens this time. .425. That's pretty healthy from an air pistol of any caliber. Oh, didn't get a reading that time. .422. .418. .415. Yeah, that's pretty good. .412. .410. Might let that warm up just a little bit before I take my next shot. .417. 412. .409. Need one extra because of that blank shot. This gun could use a little detent for holding it open, like the Crossbows do. .405. So we're losing a bit of velocity as we go, either from cooling down or it might be losing a bit of pressure on that cylinder. Not sure how many shots you're supposed to get out of a full power one. So anyway, there we go. Next thing to do is to take it to the range and see how well it shoots. So at the range, I started out by sighting it in at 10 meters. Shooting offhand here, which I later realized I probably should have been bench resting it. But these H&N field target pellets in .20 caliber seem to be shooting decently well. But I definitely was pulling my shots a few shots to the left here. And again, I'm just putting that down to my unfamiliarity with the trigger. So got a bullseye there, so can't complain too loudly. I decided to shoot 10 shots on this target, and that gave me a group of about 70 millimeters, which is just a tad under 3 inches. So not great shooting, but it definitely shows the gun has potential. So realized my mistake, and after putting a fresh cylinder in, because I pretty much depleted it, I shot this bench rested. My main problem here was just seeing the sights, the black sights against the black bullseye. A bit more of a silhouette than you might think, but it definitely shows the gun can shoot. The group ended up being just 40 millimeters, so just a tad over 1.5 inches. So again, with a bit more practice and more familiarity with this pistol, I could probably do a little bit better. So what do we make of this interesting Benjamin-Sheridan E9A, which turns out appears to be the last of the CO2 pistols that carried the Sheridan name, as it, and of course the .20 caliber designation. It was made only in 1991, and that makes it a little bit of a collector's item. A little bit of research shows that people are willing to spend a fair bit of money on these guns. And I don't fully understand that, or not sure how you fully justify it, except the fact that it is perhaps a little on the rarish side, and the last of its kind, I suppose. So, but it's a fairly pretty pistol. It's nice and slim, which is compared to things like the Crossbow 2240 and other CO2 guns and pump-up guns. This is a fairly compact little package, and you can see why it's fairly well liked. The most difficult thing nowadays, of course, is just that .20 caliber pellets are getting pretty thin on the ground. Anyway, thanks for watching. Canacare will be returning, so consider subscribing.